All right, let's talk about one of the most common and honestly, one of the most dangerous pieces of advice you'll ever get in school. It sounds like a clever little life hack, but in today's world, it's pretty much a one-way ticket to a useless diploma.
You've heard this, right? I bet you've even said it. It's basically the motto for anyone just trying to survive the semester. And look, technically, it's not wrong. A C will absolutely get you that piece of paper. But, and this is the big but, here's the part that gets left out. That degree, all by itself, is not going to get you a job. The world has totally changed, and the rules of the game are completely different now. Think of the diploma as your ticket to get into the interview, not the reason you actually land the job.
So if employers aren't just looking at your diploma, what are they looking at? Let's dive into what they're actually hunting for, because I guarantee it's probably not what you think. Okay, take a look at this. This is the reality check of a modern technical interview. See the pattern here? They're asking you to prove it. They want you to show them how you think, how you build, and how you talk about your work. They want to see your skills in action. And your GPA, well, it just doesn't tell them any of that. And that brings us to the most crucial point of all. Your GitHub profile, or really any public portfolio of your work, has become your actual transcript. It's this living, breathing document that tells a way richer story than any letter grade ever could. I mean, think about what an employer sees when they look at this stuff. They can see your work ethic just by how often you're committing code. They see how you react when you hit a wall. Do you push through that bug, or do you just give up? Do you take feedback and actually make things better, or do you just submit something once and call it a day? The best part? You absolutely cannot fake a commit history. So, all of this is pointing to a huge mental shift. The focus is moving away from a single snapshot of your ability and toward measuring your trajectory. In other words, how fast you're getting better. Let's play this out with a classic scenario. So, you've got student A, who submits one perfect assignment and gets an A. Then you have student B. They turn in a kind of messy first draft, get some feedback, and then revise it 3 different times, with each version getting better and better. They end up with a B+. Now, on paper, student A looks like the winner, right? So the big question is, who actually gets the job? Who just showed the skills that an employer is dying to find? It's student B, every single time. And here's why. And this is so important. Any company can teach you their specific coding language or their tools. That's the easy part. What they can't teach you is the drive to learn, the grit to keep iterating, and the humility to actually get better. Student B just proved they have all of that. Student A didn't. You know, there's actually a name for this metric, growth velocity. To put it in math terms for a second, employers are not measuring Y, your static position. They're measuring dy over dx, your rate of change. A student who goes from being pretty bad to just okay shows a way higher growth velocity than a student who just stays good the whole time. Okay, so if growth velocity is the new name of the game, what does that actually mean for you? Like, practically speaking, how do you play by this new set of rules? Let's break it down. The implications here are kind of wild. If you're a beginner, if you feel like you're behind, you actually have the most potential to show massive growth and win. If you think you have natural talent, well, that's worthless if you're not constantly pushing and iterating. Coasting is death. And all that effort you put in, it's not invisible anymore. It is right there in your commit history for everyone to see. And yeah, of course you should be using AI, but it's not a short. Let's be super clear on the AI thing. Just copy pasting what a tool spits out? Nope. That is not your work. Your work is what happens after. It's taking that output, really understanding it, iterating on it, breaking it, and then fixing it again. That whole process of struggling, that's where the real learning happens. And that's the evidence employers want to see. So here it is, the winning strategy. You have to commit the journey, not just the destination. Show your work, all of it, the messy first drafts, the bug fixes, the revisions. That journey is so much more valuable to an employer than a single polished product with no backstory. Okay, let's get to the good part. Let's talk about the payoff. What are the actual tangible benefits of thinking this way? What does real long-term success look like? By the end of this whole process, you don't just walk away with a grade. You have an entire career toolkit. You've got a portfolio that proves you're consistent and that you're growing. You have literal receipts showing you can collaborate. But most importantly, you have a story to tell. Not just, I built this thing, but I started here, I struggled with this specific problem, and here is what I learned. That is what gets you hired. You know, ultimately, it all comes down to a conscious choice.
You can coast, grab that C, learn next to nothing, and wind up with a piece of paper that doesn't really help you. Or you can choose to engage. It's going to be harder. You are going to struggle, but you will finish with a set of skills and a body of work that employers will recognize in a heartbeat. The choice is yours. So please, don't think of this as some scary system that's constantly judging you. You got to flip that mindset. The metrics, the algorithm, your commit history, all of it exists to make your growth visible. It's there to cheer you on, to provide the proof of all your hard work. In a world that values growth way more than perfection, this is the cycle that matters. Ship your work, even when it's not perfect, learn from the feedback you get, and never, ever stop iterating. That is the real secret to getting a degree that actually builds a career.